Hey, mamas. It's your girl, Carrie, and welcome back to Mom Wife Career Life. Today, we're diving into something that's really been on my heart lately. As I've mentioned on the show, I made a job change a couple months ago, and I'm no longer managing people, but I still mentor people. And this has come up quite a bit, especially with those working moms out there. How to be a stronger leader at work, even if you're not in a leadership role. Because here's the truth. Leadership, it's not about the titles you have. It's not about the corner office or how many people report to you on an org chart. It's about influence. It's about the energy you bring, the example you set, and how you show up in the everyday. So if you've ever felt overlooked, underappreciated, or like you're just a name on an org chart, this episode is your reminder that you already have the power to lead right where you are. So let's jump in.
Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life.
Have you ever found yourself thinking, if I were the manager, I'd do things differently? Or maybe you've been the one staying late or working late to help a teammate hit their deadline, or the one keeping morale up when your office is running on empty and the vibe is really low. If you've nodded yes to any of that, then it sounds like you're already leading. You just might not be calling it that yet. So today we're talking about how to step more confidently into that role, grow your influence, and really become the kind of leader people want to follow, whether or not you have that title. And we're starting with number 1. Leadership is a mindset, not a title. You don't have to wait for someone to give you permission or to promote you to a new position to start acting like a leader. You can lead from exactly where you are, whether you're a coordinator, an analyst, a senior executive, or somewhere in between. Think about the leaders you admire most. Is it really their job title that inspires you, or is it how they treat people, how they handle tough conversations, how they make you feel supported and seen? Leadership is about ownership, initiative, and really being solution focused. The way you handle conflict, take responsibility, and lift others up, that's leadership in action. Number 2, emotional intelligence is your superpower. Emotional intelligence is probably one of the most underrated leadership skills. As women, especially moms, we're often naturally tuned in to the emotions and the needs of others. That's our strength, not a weakness. Strong leaders are really self-aware, empathetic, and most importantly, really great listeners. They know when to speak and they know when to step back. They really read the room and not just go by the rules. If you want to grow your influence at work, start by becoming the person who really listens well, who stays calm under pressure. That's really so important. And the person that knows how to navigate those tricky situations with grace. And also be aware that a lot of people lack emotional intelligence, sometimes to the point where it's absolutely mind-boggling. I've had to manage through some seriously stressful situations, and it's really that awareness that we have that everyone is dealing with their own challenges. You're only seeing one small piece of a person at work. You don't know what they're dealing with outside of work, a sick parent, failing marriage, a child that's struggling. So being able to take that step back and seek first to understand where the person is coming from is so huge. Number 3, lead by example. The best way to lead is to really model the behavior you want to see. And that is something I've always done. I mirror exactly what I expect from people. Show up when you say you're going to, follow through, speak respectfully, offer solutions, not just complaints, celebrate each other, keep a positive attitude, even when things feel really hard and you're really negative. Be mindful when scheduling meetings or requesting items that have a deadline, making sure you're giving people enough notice that you're not messing up their work-life balance. Offer support when you see someone is struggling. And most importantly, show gratitude. Even the simplest thank you goes a long way. And people notice. They notice when you have that integrity. And they start to trust you more because of it. So even if you're not managing people, you're really setting a tone. Whether you realize it or not, someone is watching you and thinking, wow, I want to show up like she does. Number 4, communicate clearly and confidently. Strong leaders know how to communicate clearly and with confidence. That doesn't mean that you need to be loud or bold or completely extroverted, because I'm not. It means learning how to speak up in meetings, set boundaries kindly but firmly, share your ideas without apologizing for them, and ask for what you need without feeling guilty. Because here's the truth: one of the most powerful tools you have in your leadership toolbox is your voice, especially when it comes to setting healthy boundaries at work. And I know for many of us, that's so much easier said than done. Boundaries can feel very uncomfortable at first, like you're letting someone down or you're stepping out of line. But real leadership, it requires boundaries. You can't lead well if you're burned out, overextended, or you're stuck in that people pleasing mode. And this is coming from a recovering people pleaser. I had a manager that I would never say no to. I loved her and I've always had that team mentality, but our business was growing and the staffing wasn't. So it was a lot more work for me and I really wasn't getting much in return. But I understood the needs of the business. So I dealt with it for a really long time. But then it got to the point where it was physically taking a toll on me. The stress caused a really bad pinched nerve in my back. And for literally weeks, I had to work laying down, propped up on pillows to reduce the pain. And I can't even say alleviate it because any movement hurt so much. Luckily, I work from home, so I had the option to lie down. Can't really do that if you're working in an office, but I'll never forget. We were in a meeting and she was telling me that I was getting more work. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I closed my eyes, I took a deep breath, and I literally said out loud, "Speak your truth." And I let it out. I spoke up. I told her it was way too much, what the workload was doing to me, both mentally and physically. And she respected that I spoke up. And I'm really thankful for that time in my life because from that day forward, it was like this boundary and this strength and this confidence grew inside me. And I have not held back in speaking up since. I speak my truth. I'm a thought leader because I'm able to see potential problems arising. And I offer solutions because I'm not afraid to use my voice, which has served me very well. And just a side note, if you've ever struggled to say no, to protect your time, or to just speak up about what's not working, you're so not alone. That's exactly why I created my freebie, Boundaries Made Simple. It's a short guide. It walks you through how to identify boundaries that you actually need, simple scripts on how to say no without feeling guilty, ways to hold your boundaries without second guessing yourself, because saying yes to yourself doesn't make you difficult. It makes you a leader who knows her worth. And that's exactly the kind of leadership we're talking about today. You can go grab it right now. It's in the show notes. Number 5, advocate for yourself and for others. Part of leadership is advocating, and not just for yourself, but for other people you work with. And that might mean negotiating for better work-life balance. It might mean giving credit where credit's due. It might mean mentoring a newer teammate or gently challenging something that just doesn't feel right or aligned to your values. And you can lead by speaking up, by supporting your team, and by pushing for better systems and process improvement, because leadership is also about legacy, the kind of culture you're helping create. So use those voices. Number 6, leadership at home matters too. And don't forget this, you are a leader in your home. You manage schedules, you solve problems, you rally the queue, teach life lessons on the fly, and keep the whole ship afloat on minimal sleep. You are the CEO in leggings, and no one can tell me otherwise. So take that same leadership energy into your workplace. That confidence you have at home with your kids and your partner, bring that to work because you're capable, you're smart, and you've already been leading, maybe even without realizing it. Number 7, I mentioned this before, but it deserves its own tip: being solution focused. It is so easy to fall into the trap of venting. And hey, I love a good vent session with a trusted coworker just as much as the next person, because everyone does need that person that really understands what you're going through and can commiserate with you, because you try to talk to your partner at home, but then you have to tell them the whole backstory, and it's just easier to vent to someone at work. And sometimes you need to let it out before you explode on someone who 100% does not deserve it. But here's the thing: strong leaders don't stop at the complaint. They pause, they reflect, and they ask, what can we do about this? Whether it's a broken process, poor communication, unrealistic expectations. Yeah, it's frustrating, but leadership means saying, okay, what's a better way? Instead of saying, this deadline is impossible, try saying, Hi, I think we need to reevaluate the timeline. Could we maybe shift the due date or delegate a few pieces to make this more manageable? Instead of saying, I'm drowning in meetings, try saying, can we switch the meetings from weekly to biweekly or send an email instead? And I highly recommend the book Essentialism by Greg McKeown. It really, truly helped me with this. And I actually gift this book to a couple of coworkers that really need help in this space because it's helped me so much. So I'll link it in the show notes. Check it out. And I also don't want you to feel like you have to fix everything. But when you come up with an idea, even small ones, people start to see you as someone who takes initiative, someone who cares about improving culture, someone who's not just managing, they're leading. And this doesn't just help you shine, it makes you someone others want to work with, someone who brings the calm, who brings the clarity and action instead of just more chaos. You know, the people I'm talking about that people just dread when they jump on calls, dread when they sit next to you in a meeting, those Debbie Downers. And sorry if your name's Debbie. And for those that don't know, or I'm dating myself, it's a Saturday Night Live reference. Check it out. But back to leadership. If you're raising kids, if you're running a household, managing relationships, and you're still showing up at work, trying to actually do your job on top of everything else that's going on in your life, I promise you, you're already an expert in problem solving. So bring that same energy into your work. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need a promotion to have influence. And you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You lead every time you show up with integrity, every time you choose progress over perfection, every time you encourage someone else or you ask for what you need. It's in you already, so go out and use it. And until next time, keep leading with heart, keep believing in your worth, and remember, you don't have to do it all. You just have to do it with purpose. If this episode fired you up or gave you a little mindset reset, would you do me a favor? Take 30 seconds and leave me a review, tap those 5 stars, and send this to a fellow mama who's trying to grow her career and her confidence. It helps the show grow, and it really means the world to me. And if you want to keep this conversation going, you can come and hang out with us in our Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms, or DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. I love hearing from you. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Life Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Life Career Life with Carrie Pat.